I moved into my new apartment on a Friday. By Sunday, I had called the building manager, the police, and my mother. In that order. I'm 31. I work in marketing. I'd been apartment hunting for 2 months, and this place was perfect. Second floor, good light, quiet building in a part of Austin I actually liked. I moved in on Friday evening, unpacked what I needed, set up the bed, ordered food, normal first night in a new place. I went to sleep around 11 with the bathroom light on. Saturday morning I woke up and went to the bathroom. There's a large mirror on the wall directly across from the door, the kind that's built into the wall, floor to ceiling. I looked at it and I stopped. The mirror was showing a room that was not my bathroom. It looked like a bathroom, same general shape, same position of the sink, but the walls were a different color, dark green. My walls are white. The mirror was not reflecting what was behind me. I turned around. My walls were white. I looked back at the mirror, dark green. Moved my hand in front of it. My reflection moved. My face was right, but the room behind me in the mirror was not the room I was standing in. I called the building manager. He came up, looked at the mirror, looked at the walls, and told me the mirror was probably old and had some kind of discoloration or tint in the glass that could make colors appear different. He seemed completely unbothered. He left within 5 minutes. I went back to the bathroom and looked at the mirror again. It was showing my bathroom. White walls, my towel on the hook, the small shelf I'd set up. Everything correct. I stood there for a long time trying to figure out if I had imagined it. I don't think I did. That night, Saturday night, I woke up at 2 a.m. I don't know why. I lay there in the dark, and I could see the bathroom doorway from my bed, and the light was on the way I'd left it. And in the strip of light coming under the bathroom door, I could see the mirror. And the room in the mirror was dark green again. I called the police. I know how that sounds, calling the police about a mirror. They came. One of them looked at the mirror for a long time. He didn't say it was discoloration. He didn't say anything for a while. Then he asked me which floor I was on. I said second. He asked me which unit. I said 204. He wrote something down. Then he asked me if I'd been told anything about the unit before I moved in. I said no. He said, and I'm going to quote him exactly, "You should call your building manager in the morning and ask him what happened in 2004, about 4 years ago." Then he left. I called the building manager Sunday morning. He didn't answer the first time. When I reached him, he was quiet for a long moment after I asked. Then he said a woman had lived in 24 years ago. So, she had died in the apartment, in the bathroom. And before they repainted the apartment after, the walls had been dark green. I moved out 2 weeks later. The mirror is still there, as far as I know. I think about who's living in 24 now. I wonder if they leave the bathroom light on. I wonder if they check. I found my own obituary in a box of old newspapers in my late father's house. It had my name my age, my hometown. The date on it was 3 weeks from the day I found it. My father died in March. He lived alone on a property outside of a small town in eastern Ohio. The house he'd grown up in, the same one I grew up in. He had lived there for 71 years. After the funeral, I went back to start going through his things. That kind of work, sorting through a whole life, takes longer than you think. My father kept everything. That was his way. Boxes in the basement, boxes in the spare room, boxes in the attic. Old bills, old letters, magazines from the 80s. I worked through it over 3 weekends. On the third Saturday, I found a box in the attic labeled newspapers, old in my father's handwriting. I opened it expecting local papers from the 70s, that kind of thing. There were maybe 40 newspapers in there, all folded, all stacked neatly. I went through them one by one. Most were from the 90s, some older. I was near the bottom of the box when I found one that was different. The paper was newer, cleaner, not yellowed the way the others were. I unfolded it. It was a local paper, the same county paper my father had subscribed to for decades. But the date on the masthead was in the future. 6 weeks from that Saturday. I told myself it was a misprint. Papers make mistakes. I set it down and kept going through the box. Then I picked it up again. I don't know why, just a feeling. I turned to the obituaries page. Third entry down, my full name, my age, 44. My hometown, a brief paragraph that matched the basic facts of my life. My father's name, the town I grew up in, my profession. No cause of death listed. No surviving family listed either, which was wrong. I have a sister. But the name and the age and the town were right. I sat in that attic for a long time. I went through every rational explanation. Prank, misprint, coincidence of names. My father had somehow found a paper with someone who had the same name and kept it as a joke. I went through all of them. None of them explained the date. If it was a prank or a coincidence, someone had printed a future date on a newspaper and placed it in a sealed box in my father's attic. The box was taped shut. I'd cut the tape to open it. Nobody had been in that box recently. The newspaper was clean and new. And it had my name and a date 3 weeks away. That date passed. I'm still here.
I don't know what to make of that, whether to feel relieved or whether the date being wrong means anything at all.
I kept the newspaper. I don't know why. It's in a box in my house now, the way it was in a box in my father's house. I've never been able to figure out how it got there.
I've thought about it every day since I found it.
My father had no reason to put it there. He had no way of knowing what it said. He died before that paper would have been printed. Whatever that newspaper is, wherever it came from, it was in that box before any of it could have existed. That's the part I can't let go of. Not the name, not the date. The fact that it was already there,